Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever scrubbed a stranger's toilet until your knees felt like they were on fire, only to drive home to a house where you can't even afford to fix the leaky sink? Because that was my life for 15 years. I'm not reading this from a book. I lived it. I am Sarah. And before I figured out how to keep my money, I was exactly where you are. Right now, I was a housekeeper. I was the invisible woman in the background of wealthy people's lives. For a decade and a half, I woke up at 5 a.m. every single morning. I put on that uniform. I packed my lunch because buying food was a luxury I couldn't afford. I drove my beat-up car to neighborhoods where the mailboxes cost more than my weekly paycheck. I polished marble floors. I dusted expensive art. I folded sheets that had a higher thread count than anything I had ever slept on. And at the end of the day, my back screamed in pain. My hands were dry and cracked from the chemicals. And my bank account, it was empty. Always empty. The worst part wasn't the hard work. We are tough women. We know how to work. The worst part was the confusion. I was working 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. I was picking up extra shifts on Saturdays. I was taking cash jobs under the table whenever I could. So why was I always broke? I remember looking at my hands one night, smelling like bleach and lemon polish, and just crying. I thought, I am working myself to death, and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. I wasted 15 years believing a lie. The lie was this: if I just work harder, I will get ahead. That is not true. In our line of work, hard work just gets you a sore back and a tired heart. The rich people I worked for, they didn't work physically harder than me, but they knew something I didn't. They knew how to tell their money where to go. I was just letting my money leave. I was trapped in what I call the cash trap because I got paid in tips or cash envelopes often. That money felt different. It didn't feel real. I would stop at the gas station and buy snacks. I would grab fast food because I was too exhausted to cook. I would lend $20 to a cousin who never paid me back. The cash slipped through my fingers like water. It was a slow leak that drained my life for 15 years. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, sweating, panting, exhausting myself, but staying in the exact same spot. But today, we are going to stop running. I am going to tell you exactly what changed. It wasn't a lottery ticket. I didn't marry a rich man. I changed one specific habit. It was a small shift, but it stopped the bleeding. If you are a housekeeper, a janitor, or anyone who trades their body for a paycheck, you need to hear this, because you deserve to have savings. You deserve to retire one day. You deserve to look at your bank account and feel peace, not panic. Let's talk about how I finally put down the mop and picked up my dignity. The change didn't happen overnight. It happened on a Tuesday. I remember it clearly. I had just finished cleaning a massive 4-bedroom house. The owner, a nice lady, handed me my pay in cash, plus a $20 tip. I put that money in my pocket. On my way home, I stopped for gas. I bought a soda. I picked up some things for dinner. By the time I walked through my own front door, that $20 tip was gone, and I had broken into the main pay just to cover the groceries. I sat at my kitchen table and realized I had absolutely no idea where my money went. Here is the secret that changed my life. You have to treat your home like a business. When you work as a housekeeper or a cleaner, you are the CEO of your own life. But I was running my business like a chaotic mess. I was treating my cash tips like free money. You know what I mean, right? You think, oh, this is just extra. I can spend this. No, it is not extra. It is your future. It is your retirement. It is your safety net. So, I did something radical. I stopped carrying cash. I know that sounds impossible for us, but listen to how I did it. I created a rule, the touch it once rule. When a client handed me cash, or when I got a tip, I touched it once to put it in a specific zippered bag in my purse. I did not open that bag at the gas station. I did not open it at the drive-thru. That bag was locked. That bag was for the bank. Every single Friday, no matter how tired I was, I went to the bank. I took all those crumpled bills, the ones that usually vanished into thin air, and I deposited them. I forced myself to see the number on the screen grow. It was small at first, $50 here, $100 there, but seeing it on a screen made it real. When the money is in your pocket, it feels like paper. When it is in the bank, it feels like wealth. I also stopped hiding from my bills. For years, I would throw the electric bill in a drawer and pray it would go away. I was scared to look, but fear keeps you broke. So I sat down with a cheap spiral notebook. I wrote down every single thing I spent money on, not just the rent. I wrote down the coffee, the snacks, the cleaning supplies I bought with my own money because the client was out of Windex. That was a huge wake-up call. I realized I was spending over $200 a month on little convenience things because I was too tired to plan. I was buying lunch every day because I didn't pack one. That is $2, $400 a year. That is a used car. That is a down payment on a mobile home. I was literally eating my future one sandwich at a time. This part is hard. I won't lie to you. It hurts to tell yourself no. When you work physically hard, you feel like you deserve a treat. You tell yourself, I worked hard, I deserve this pizza. And you do deserve it. But do you know what you deserve more? You deserve to not panic when the landlord knocks on the door. You deserve to have $1,000 sitting in the bank for an emergency. I started using the envelope system for my groceries and gas. I took out only the cash I needed for the week. If the envelope was empty on Thursday, guess what? We ate rice and beans until Friday. It was strict, it was tough, my kids complained a little bit, but for the first time in 15 years, I wasn't digging a hole, I was finally standing on solid ground. And let me tell you, the feeling of safety is better than the taste of any takeout food. It took me about 6 months to see the real change. 6 months of bringing my lunch. 6 months of saying no to the vending machine. 6 months of putting those cash tips into the bank instead of my pocket. And then, something happened that usually would have ruined my life. My car broke down. The alternator died. The mechanic told me it would cost $400 to fix. In the past, I would have cried. I would have called a loan shark or a payday loan place. I would have begged my boss for an advance, feeling small and ashamed. But this time, I looked at my bank account, and there it was, $500, sitting there, waiting for me. I didn't have to beg anyone. I didn't have to panic. I just paid the mechanic. I drove home with my head held high. That was the moment I realized I was no longer poor. I was just broke, and I was fixing it. That feeling of dignity is worth more than any new pair of shoes. When you clean houses for a living, people sometimes look through you. They treat you like the furniture. It is easy to start feeling small. It is easy to feel like you don't matter, but when you have control over your money, you get your power back. You walk a little taller. You scrub that floor knowing that this is just a job. It is not your whole life. You are building something for yourself, not just cleaning up for someone else. I want you to know that it is not too late for you. I don't care if you are 30, 40, or 60 years old. I don't care if you have $10 in your pocket right now. You can stop the leak. You can stop wasting your hard work. You spend your whole day making other people's homes beautiful. It is time to make your own life beautiful. It is time to take care of your house. Please, stop throwing your cash tips away on little things that don't matter. Stop trying to keep up with the people you work for. You don't need their lifestyle. You need their peace of mind. Start today. Get a notebook, write it down, put the cash in the bank, do it for your kids so they don't have to struggle like this, but mostly do it for yourself because you work too hard to be this broke. If this story sounded like your life, you are in the right place. My name is Sarah, and on this channel, we don't judge, we just fix it. We talk about the real stuff, the bills, the debt, and the way out. If you are ready to stop cleaning up everyone else's messes and start building your own future, click that subscribe button. Let's do this together. I'll see you in the next video.